Welcome to day 2 of Lipedema Strong Start. Today we're going to move into mindset and anti-inflammatory foods. I want to talk for just a minute about mindset and having lifelong success. I think so many of us with lipedema have struggled in the past with trying to find a comfortable body weight, and we have fallen victim to fad diets and diet culture. And we forget to start focusing and starting right where we are. And many times we try and start these radical changes that are just not something we can keep up with. It's like a balancing act. If you picture yourself standing on a log in a river and trying to constantly move your feet so that you don't fall off that log, that's what it feels like when you're trying to do all the things instead of focusing on what you can do right where your feet are solidly planted. And sometimes that means 1 to 2 small shifts. I like to say focusing on being 1% better each day instead of trying to give your entire nutrition and lifestyle a complete overhaul. When we think about nutrition for long-term success, it's really important to think about what you can add to your diet instead of what you can take away. There is a much different mindset shift that happens when you focus on the positive instead of the negative. And many times feeling like you get to add things to your nutrition daily instead of taking things away is a much more comfortable space to be in. And so when we think about the foods that we really want to focus on prioritizing when we're living with lipedema, the first one might be pretty obvious because it's having an it moment in nutrition right now, and that is protein. Protein is great for a lot of reasons, but it is particularly helpful in preserving muscle, creating satiety and fullness so that we don't feel like we're starving, and it supports lymphatic pumping through movement. If we have stronger, more robust muscles, we're going to pump more lymphatic fluid and be less likely to have stagnant lymph fluid. The other thing in regards to it giving us satiety and fullness is that so many are experiencing the benefits of GLP-1 medications right now. And protein naturally gives up some of that same satiety because it stimulates the release of several key appetite regulating hormones. So keep that in mind when you're looking for your next meal or snack, and make sure that it's always centered around some protein. And it's a great idea to focus on using both animal-based and plant-based sources of protein. It doesn't have to be one or the other, as we so often hear in the lipedema community. The second food to prioritize when you want to thrive with lipedema is fiber. Fiber is amazing for so many reasons. First off, it creates better satiety and fullness, just like protein. They go hand in hand. But fiber fuels the gut. So when you think about your plate, make sure that you have 1 to 2 servings of fiber-rich vegetables and fruit, so that you can lower inflammation by strengthening the beneficial bacteria in your gut and reducing endotoxemia that comes from a bacteria called lipopolysaccharide. We know that when women with lipedema have high lipopolysaccharide, or LPS, it increases susceptibility of leaky gut and increased inflammation. Here we are at the end of day 2. Let's recap what we learned. We talked first about long-term success and having a mindset that is not diet culture related, because otherwise there's going to be a start and a stop. And since unfortunately lipedema doesn't start and stop, we need a plan for long-term success. I want to encourage you to think about how you can include more nourishing foods into your nutrition daily instead of what you may need to take away. Focus on the positive. The action step today is to make sure that meal times include at least 1 serving of protein and 2 serving of fiber-rich vegetables and fruit. This is a way of caring for our body with sustainability and nourishment in the forefront. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.